Good evening, and welcome to the Lady Ashbourne Chronicles, where domestic disasters meet aristocratic complications in Regency England. Tonight's episode, the ceiling incident.
You know, there's something almost philosophical about watching your life fall apart in real time. The ancient Greeks would have called it tragedy. I call it Tuesday. That ceiling wouldn't dare cave in today. Well, that's just perfect.
Lady Margot Ashbourne, widowed for 3 years now and perpetually practical, surveyed her parlor with the weary acceptance of a woman who'd been expecting this exact disaster for months.
Don't you dare blame me. I'm not the one who's been using my attic as a hotel.
Mother! There are spirits in my hairbrushes!
Tell them they owe back rent. And stop calling me mother. You're 24. It's weird.
Florinda, her stepdaughter, possessed all the dramatic flair of a Shakespearean tragedy and twice the volume.
Ashbourne House is falling apart faster than my last marriage, although he too died tragically, and I've been holding it together with strategic furniture placement and sheer stubborn will. Apparently the house has finally called my bluff. Oh, what fresh hell is this?
Doesn't. The kind of knocks that expect a butler to answer.
Unfortunately for everyone involved, I am both lady of the house and the butler today.
Good morning, Lady Ashbourne.
If you tracked mud through my foyer, I'll use you as mortar for my ceiling repairs.
I brought citrus.
Do I look like I have scurvy?
You look like someone who appreciates things that flourish despite difficult circumstances.
That better not be a metaphor.
I'm not nearly clever enough to insult you in metaphor. Though I might manage it by accident.
Lord Percival Fairfax, Earl of Thorncroft, stood on her doorstep, holding a potted orange tree like some sort of horticultural peace offering. He was handsome in the way that made sensible women question their life choices, and wealthy enough to make those poor choices seem perfectly reasonable. For some inexplicable reason, he'd chosen to delight her with his presence. Again.
What do you want, Fairfax? And please tell me it's not charity. I've had quite enough pity for one day, thank you.
I want to hire you.
You want to what now?
Hire you. For your expertise in domestic engineering.
Domestic engineering?
Is that what we're calling preventing one's house from murdering its occupants these days?
Among other things. A little bird told me you might need some roof work.
A little bird.
Charming fellow. Very concerned about structural integrity.
If you think I won't bludgeon you to death with your own citrus.
I've missed your conversation, Lady Ashbourne. It's like being attacked with fine china. Elegant, but lethal.
Get inside or get gone, but if you track dirt across my floors, I'll convene a jury of squirrels to decide your fate.
A jury of squirrels? How progressive. Do they follow common law, or is it more of a nuts and berries jurisdiction?
Don't test me, Fairfax. I'm having what my late husband would have called a day of considerable domestic challenge.
She told herself this wasn't the beginning of anything. This was just an eccentric earl with too much time and a questionable sense of humour, arriving at the exact moment her life had reached peak catastrophe.
Impressive ceiling work, by the way. Very avant-garde. The natural lighting is quite dramatic.
The squirrel did most of the design work. I merely provided the structural failure.
Collaborative effort. I admire that in home renovation.
You're taking this rather well for a man standing in what appears to be a recently bombed parlor.
I've seen worse.
Where? A war zone?
My mother's attempts at interior decorating. Trust me, a hole in the ceiling is nothing compared to purple velvet wallpaper with gold tassels.
That does sound horrific.
Ooh. The spirits have moved to my jewelry box. They're rearranging my earrings alphabetically.
Then at least they're being helpful.
Spirits.
My stepdaughter has a very active imagination and a flair for the dramatic. Last week, she was convinced the roses were gossiping about her complexion.
And were they?
The roses? Probably. They're quite judgmental roses, very high standards.
And so began an afternoon that would change everything for Lady Margot Ashbourne, though she wouldn't realise it until much later. When looking back on the day, her ceiling fell down and her entire life fell upward.
Will Lady Ashbourne accept the Earl's mysterious proposition? What exactly does one do with a gift orange tree? And can Florinda's hairbrushes be saved from spiritual interference? Find out next time on the Lady Ashbourne Chronicles. The Lady Ashbourne Chronicles was recorded before a live studio audience of very judgmental roses. This has been a production of Ashbourne Audio Drama Company, where domestic disasters meet romantic comedy and everyone's ceiling is structurally questionable.